ist es die Entscheidungsmöglichkeiten, dann ist es das die erste Entscheidung und das die zweite Entscheidung. Ja, so machen wir das. Wenn ich drüber nachdenke, könnte ich eigentlich auch einfach nur die Entscheidungsmöglichkeiten speichern. Weil da bin ich ja dann eh gleich danach. Machen wir es erstmal so. Gut, jetzt würde mich aber interessieren.
I told them! I freaking told them!
Es folgt mir auch, wenn ich gebetet habe und nicht hingeschaut. Das wollte ich nämlich wissen. Gut, genau das wollte ich wissen. The last thing I see are those feet before all I know is darkness. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up. Isabella.
5 more minutes, Becca.
Is what away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Come on. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving an uncomfortable feeling. Oh dear, is she alright?
Isabella, gosh, can you hear me?
Isabella, gosh, can you hear me?
Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes then open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask where this ask why there was someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back and down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mind throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything.
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12-teen. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checked if your injury is in any way serious.
This time I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. And yet Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews. But with how primely dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from our cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I impose barely, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still a trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where a man lose that bonus as he promised. But that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return. The cold compressed to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railing to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation if she says no.
All right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, as they are making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. But not in a scary negative way. Far from it, actually her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she goes again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Marianne McCulloch, Truly Rose Designs interior designer, McCulloch at xmail.com. Telefonnummer. She hands Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 15th, 17th century influences then. I wouldn't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes, Hannah Wright. She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly Rose nudges me with her elbow. We'll check with our supervisor. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
We're sorry, ma'am. We don't really know what's going on here.
Ne, gleich mal Minuspunkt. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods seemingly in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
I saw something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to her Lockspan office and check if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided with my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Rose Cooper, along with a woman who introduced herself. By looking for a missing co-agent, Isabella Santos found a mysterious letter in the Ervingard Mansion's attic, driven to fear by what she read inside, thinking it's the place's curse. At work, she hurried to leave, only to meet Rose Cooper, along with a woman who introduced herself as Marian McCullough, found Isabella Santos lying unconscious in the mansion's foyer before the open house start. Unable to recall what happened prior, Isabella insisted on working, despite her co-agent's worries about her well-being. The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia, a temporary lapse, after having heard all those things about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Da fällt mir allerdings ein. Ich habe noch gar nicht nachgeschaut, was passiert, wenn ich nicht entkomme.
Please, don't hurt me!
much, okay. Better to give this as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ, and if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin. From how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I'll still need to do. And why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get to what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, composed a medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day indoors. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade, appraisingly, with some arguing about who's mentioned as the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can you do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wonder to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins a group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or the television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the man with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in their attention. Both of them, in I think they are a brother and sister if it wasn't for the public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of cancelling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion, and so with papers in hand I lead the way. Today marked the open house of the infamous Urban Garden Mansion, opened to the public for the first time in years. Luxembourg's most esteemed and prominent personalities gathered to catch a glimpse of the 7th century property, including Luxembourg's most well-known couple, Luke and Hannah Wright. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going oh and ah, or one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxembourg knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, Mom. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of the conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open heart at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. Sie meint den Ofen mit der Open Heart. Würde ich mal meinen. And man drops to the cleaning crew. after overhearing hundreds of the complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the ass cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off, or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in Prey speaks up, Mr. Look right. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. What's so interesting about the basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, it just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Das ist eine Menge fucking Wein.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough.
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but they sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time PSC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Race how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Die haben wir auch schon in der Eingangshalle gesehen. Sind das vielleicht diese Charlotte, die sich umgebracht hat und ihr Mann, Freund, der mir dieses Buntglasfenster geschenkt haben soll, was man sehen kann in der Eingangshalle? When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as a small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
Sit a while, I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just got Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while. The same words spilling out of my lips in silent prayer. Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails stick into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time taking the papers from my head and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and...
Was für eine unsympathische Tussi.
What's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am.
Jetzt sehen die Sprites anders aus, ist auch interessant.
Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice that Rose's group child was in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that now I'm not alright. I want to leave this place because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and that woman at the attic. It's
The
free.
letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless, I've been so careless. How did I even tell them? How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Okay, ich muss dazu sagen, ich habe das Spiel schon mal angespielt, damals auf dem Handy. Und ich habe damals die Option genommen, ihr den Brief zu zeigen, weil ich dachte, okay, ich zeige ihr das Ding einfach, das ich gefunden habe, no big deal, und das ist es. Was aber dann passieren wird und was ich sehr bereut habe, auch natürlich, wenn ich es wieder neu laden kann, ist, dass sie ziemlich außer Fassung gerät. Die gute Isabella. Und das ist absolut nicht, was ich wollte. Und von daher werde ich jetzt mal kurz zeigen, was ich meine. Und dann werde ich fortfahren und ihr nicht den Brief zeigen. I blurted out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but these curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have been given a trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back
Look,
neatly.
I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could open her mouth for Rita, the hand lands on both her shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
Marian ist runtergegangen, kann das sein?
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss Golof's face. The realization that we might lose this fight because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed. Und damit lassen wir es auch erstmal für jetzt. Gut, schau der Retter los. Ja, Marian ist runtergegangen. Da ist Minus. Gut, machen wir einen Spielstand, wo ich den Brief zeige. Und einen, wo ich das nicht tue.
Rose,
Ja, damit geht die Beziehung zu Marian ein gutes Stück weiter. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in the attic, in that letter. It's going to come after us. Please, believe me.
Dear me, is Isabella all right?
Hannah's voice breaks through the haze beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, very etched in on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines, also curious. He appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. Ja, sagt auch einiges über seinen Charakter aus. They are all as likely to believe me. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax. A cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, Do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before it causes an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've crossed trouble, and trolls can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hand stiffens when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but if I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her eyes, pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful, whether at myself at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's so easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gathered some ways across from me is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional nausea teasing there. A smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back, he offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions at all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me instead. Well, whatever way works, every ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and...
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out,
Shit, how
can't
loud
beat
is this
me.
thing even?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Soft bomb Ash from Deluxe City. Bad guys watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Of all the times
Ash
to...
from Deluxe City. Bad guys watch out, can't beat...
Ashton Frey!
Ah!
He jumps and lets out an undefined yell, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his paw, attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clank. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor, but it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn, his stupid detective senses. I'll take away every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! And awkward pauses between us. A blink. A curve. He makes a face. And then in a too-quick motion, he tucks and retrieves his abused gadget while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't beat my eyes when he straightens up, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe, where we have known each other for 5 years, his suffering through his teasing isn't a date. Today occurrence changes heart and find it adorable. Endearing even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, Scaredy Cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Asshole.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way! Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment he looks like a cat that swallowed a canary, suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches. Seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash?
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He changes a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor. Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shone in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how often he looks as if everything around him is a jar. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he has helped me even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferably poking fun at you every single chance he'll get. Ash Hall. What did I ever do to him? He never does the tobacco a sack. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a well of what I saw. No, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deeper into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Well, let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's a still welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background, whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Help me. Help me. Help me. I don't look back.